apparently. Well, okay, try that one again. Hello and welcome to the WoT Pro League. Matchday 8 off to a great start already. And as you can see, I've got someone who you may or may not know. It is the one and only Stephen Neal, our product manager for Wargaming. He's been here a few times, but introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, first of all, I have to say it's a big improvement for the show, finally. We've been working on this for a long time. We wanted to come up with some great idea to make the show better. I think we managed to do that, didn't we?
Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see about that. But yeah, it was the first season I was actually here. But then I thought, then that was a real idea. How can we improve? So we got Oliver on board, and so he took over. And then sometime Lauren came. So, yeah, what shall I say?
Yeah.
I was going to introduce myself.
That's Stephen for you. Affectionately known as Hodor to some people.
Oh, God.
It's an affectionate term, I think.
Don't start that one. I want to go into the chat like in about 10 minutes' time when the delay's over and just see how many comments are going to be like, Hodor, Hodor, Hodor. I was thinking about doing that at the beginning. I thought, no, I'm not gonna feed him with this.
Probably not a good idea. But yeah, back to the games. We've got SPALE versus one SPP Ulanska Fantazja first, and then it's WoT against WoT Pro second. So a couple of good games. Obviously, SPALE versus Ulanska we haven't seen before. WoT versus WoT Pro we have seen a couple of times before, most notably at Gamescom, where WoT Pro just about came out on top. But we can just pop over to the rankings so far and have a little look how this season 3 is going. Obviously, Team Dignitas sitting quite happily on top with only one loss, and that was to Odemortis in the first match day. So maybe just beginning match days blues. I have no idea why they lost that one quite so spectacularly. And then we got WoT, who are hot on the heels. Only, well, if they win today, only one draw behind, I guess. They've got a draw and one loss as well. Then it's WoT Pro with 4 wins and 2 losses against Team Dignitas. It was their last one, so they kind of need to get themselves up a little bit.
Yeah, WoT Pro started off a bit rough at the beginning. I think that 3-2. Or no, 2-2 even. Yeah. So it was pretty far down at the bottom. I think that was 8th was the lowest where they were in this season. And I was quite surprised, quite shocked, because last season, or the first 2 seasons, they actually managed to stomp through the leagues without actually dropping any games.
Yeah, they had like one game on the first season. Yeah, the 21 wins to 1 loss, which is just amazing, incredible. But I think that was slightly down to the Las Vegas. Their artillery player just completely obliterated the competition. I think without him in his artillery, it's just quite hard to play the team as they used to. And then we got SPALE, who said at the beginning of the season that they really want to start doing better, and it looks like they have 3 wins to 3 losses and 1 draw in there. But almost a 50-50 in terms of rounds won and lost. So they're not doing too badly. Then playing Ducks, formerly known as Team WoT, also doing pretty good. They're just passionate. I think we can see them in the top 6 this season. And then Evil, Panda Squad, Canada Crew, Odemortis, Mousesports, Ulanska, which we'll be seeing today. But talk a little bit about Seven Sins. They had a bit of an upset.
Well, it's not much to say. The biggest problem was actually time.
Yeah.
Bring up the time, because we have to say the Pro League does require a lot of time. You have to prepare, you have to train, you have to know your enemy, and then actually play the game. So yeah, it's a bit sad. I was really looking forward for a bit of fresh blood in the league, and Seven Sins was one of the new teams that only just qualified. I was really looking forward to how they're going to perform compared to the teams that have been established for 2 seasons already. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. But we still got the other team, Ulanska, who are not completely at the bottom yet. They managed to pick up 1 win. Maybe today pick up a 2nd win, and that would bring them closer to the above the relegation matches, so they don't have to worry about the next season. Yeah. If there will be a next one, what's not announced yet. So I would have to say, you just mentioned playing Ducks, also known as more WoT, and I have to say I won't say big fan, but I really enjoy watching them and the way they play, because you said they are a passionate team. And that's why I enjoy them most. They don't play, well, of course they want to win, but like their main goal is to have fun, develop over the leagues, over the seasons, what they've done. If we compare to the second season and now this season, we can see an improvement. We can see the curve going upwards. And I just enjoy seeing that. The teams actually improve and enjoy improving and enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. It's the most important thing, I think. I think they're a bit of a role model for the rest of the teams in the league as well. But what's your kind of prediction going into this first match?
Oh, I was never good in predictions. I think I lost every single prediction of season 1. I'd say, but everybody knows I'm a little SPALE fanboy. Yeah. So, no offense, Ulanska, but 4-1 for SPALE.
4-1. Yeah. This is a big play. I think it's going to be a little bit close. I think it's going to be 3-2, just because SPALE just has such inconsistent results as well. But I think they're going to eventually come out on top. But so that's our thoughts for today. We've also got the lovely Melly in with us. Usually it's Lauren passing over to her, but it's me instead. And she's just going to give you a few polls and a few hints on how to get involved with today's action. So what have we got for today, Melly?
Well, at least I need my microphone. Thank you very much. Well, my voice is still a bit hurting, so excuse me for that. And yeah, what do we have? We have in first place bonus codes for you at home. And it's pretty easy to get them. Head over to our social media pages, facebook.com/WoT Pro League, and our Twitter page, of course. And yeah, we will be rewarding 3 tweets of the day. So tweet us whatever you like. If you have any questions to our expert and Steven.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love it.
Oh, so actually, Oliver was one who said he's going to destroy me today. But no, Melly's already starting it. Thank you.
No. Ollie actually said that I will suffer this show. So I thought
Well, it looks like you're enjoying yourself.
I'll better start. Yeah.
It's never a good idea.
I start with the shots. So, no, just kidding. If you have any questions to our experts, just tweet them to me by the use of #WoT Pro League. And anything else what's on your mind, tell me, how do you like our show? Any kind of feedback is wanted, so, and gets a chance to be rewarded as one of the 3 tweets of the day. And of course, we have our challenge on our Facebook page, where you have to guess the exact outcome of the following matchup. And if you do that right, you might get lucky and win one of 3 bonus codes. So get yourself involved. It's a good thing, and there are bonus codes.
Also, what I want to add to that is we have 4,858 likes on Facebook so far. And I think we can hit the 5K today, can't we?
Are you sure? Well, I have strong faith in our community at home. So I think, and if we hit that 5K, is there anything nice that people can win or something like that?
Wait.
Maybe an extra bonus code. A big one. The one that Lauren always waves on the camera at the last shows.
Could do that.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
We're just deciding Lauren's stuff here.
Of course, I
she's
will
not there.
talk to...
Yeah, she's not there.
Exactly.
Say,
She
I'm
abandoned
Lauren.
us. She went to LA without us. So I will manage Lauren's prices.
And since I'm replacing Lauren today, I think we can agree on that.
Perfect. So if we had the 5K likes on Facebook, we will, let's say, 5 more winners, 5 bonus codes extra of
Yeah.
all
Sounds fair.
likes on the Facebook page. And as the first place, the big one that Lauren has.
Sounds good.
That's perfect. So head over to our Facebook page and like it.
Yeah, so if we get 5K, you'll get those extra goodies in the bag. But now we can jump into our first game, which will be SPALE versus Ulanska Fantazja. You said Steven did predict that it would go to SPALE, and unfortunately I did as well. But those are our 2 teams up on your screens now. We've got, obviously, Eurofish, the team captain of SPALE, usually leading the charge from his AMX 5100. Dovahkiin, one of their star players. Moki Lumi. We've got Merpetti as well. Obviously, they actually lost Watilla in this season, so they haven't got one of their core players here, but they replaced them with BND and one more player. I think it's Fantazja. I think he's the one who... Yeah. He's the AMX 3090 player usually for this season now. So generally an all-star lineup, just a bunch of very good players, all in all. And Ulanska Fantazja is slightly less known, but they've got a lot of old players. Crazy Ketchup. We've got Rabio PL, the team leader. So generally, they've got all the experience in the world. They just need to apply themselves a little bit more, and I think their inexperience comes out in a lot of their games. The only one it really didn't come out on was against Sports, where they actually won 3-2. So they're a good team. They just need to step it up.
Yeah, that's right. Then also, they've been around for a very long time as well. I think it was one of the first esports teams out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure that it's actually most of these guys who won the first ever Go4 back in 2011, I think.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while indeed. So they got plenty of experience. We're just going to have to see if they can really apply themselves in this game. So it's going to be an interesting one either way. If SPALE manage to get rid of their inconsistency a little bit, and Ulanska Fantazja can really prioritize on that, then it's going to be a close match either way.
I think so too. But tank picking has now started, so I think we can just jump right into the pick screen and see what the teams have got in there. What were they prepared for today's match?
I saw a couple of 4-1-6s from SPALE, 2 of them. You usually only see 1 on a map like this, so it's kind of strange so far. But yeah, apart from that, we got the double T1, the T1 AMX 1390, and an AMX 1390 T69 from SPALE as well. So So far, every team's opting for AMX 3090 and T69. But it's just the question if one team picks the 3 AMX 3090s or the 2 AMX 3090s and the triple T69. It's always a bit of a gamble on that one. And obviously, if they just decide to pick something strange like a Pershing or a 416, that can also come into the equation. But T1 T69 from Ulanska, that will bring them to an AMX 3090 and a T69. SPALE picking the AMX 3090 and the T69 as well. So that's going to bring up to it 2 AMX 3090s and 2 T69 so far. But I'm predicting pretty much mirrored picks from these two teams. It's just how it goes on Prokhorovka. You don't really want to go for something slow or hard to maneuver or just big and an easy target. So the 5100, although could be quite good on this map, is not often picked anymore.
What do you think about the TDs on this map? Because I can remember, I think it was Odomortis who done it with Uncro in the Drag Punter 2. Do you think that's a bit too defensive or a bit too, not mobile enough for this kind of map? Or
yeah, we saw it even before Odomortis picked it by one of the American teams on this one. They camped right at the bottom left hand of the map.
Yeah.
Didn't work too well just because they finally got broken down. And Odomortis used it, but it didn't work really that well either when they managed to get around to it.
I think it was pretty strong. The problem was at the end.
Yeah.
Like, because only the TD was the last man standing, even full HP, but fighting against 2 really low HP tier 8 tanks. But just because of the maneuverability of these tanks, it didn't stand a chance. So I would like to see it again, to see maybe there's a small problem with execution.
It's that as well, and the fact that it can be it's not very versatile, is it?
Yeah.
Like, as you said, when it comes to that 2 versus 1 situation where an AMX 3090 wouldn't really have a problem.
Yeah, you would have took down these 2 last tanks.
He would have taken no problem at all, but when suddenly you get that extra layer of not having a turret and being slightly slower, it suddenly makes it harder. And is it really worth the sacrifice for having the high damage gun?
Yeah.
But the last picks come out, the T69 AMX 3090 for Ulanska, T69 is the last pick from SPALE, and that Pershing for Ulanska, making SPALE have the triple T69 double AMX 3090 double T1, and Ulanska with the double T69 double AMX 3090 Pershing and those 2 T1s. So picking that Pershing is the only strange pick from their side. Quite a nice little, gathering of tanks. The MX 3090s have a lot of speed. T69 have plenty of burst, and the rate of fire and the general versatility of the Pershing, just kind of complementing those tanks nicely. So, in terms of tank setup, I would give it to Ulanska.
Yeah, I definitely want to see how the Pershing's going to perform. But looks like the teams are kind of ready now. First map of the day will be Prokhorovka. Oh man, I nearly forgot the name there. I was like, damn it.
At least you say it properly. Lauren can't even say it.
Oh, she's a woman, that's why. So before we start the game, let's see a small video of Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, a large map at 1,000 by 1,000 meters which allows teams to stretch their legs and artillery to test their skills. There are 3 primary routes of attack: over the left tree road, the middle area and towards the town. The tree road is very open and flat but has a very large number of bushes and trees that provide good cover if you're not shooting. The middle area is where the initial engagements happen as teams gather as much information as they possibly can. Both teams are fairly symmetrical and only offer small hills and brushes as cover. The middle area is where the initial engagement happens as teams gather as much information as they possibly can. The railroad that splits the map has a large number of bushes running alongside it that provides good cover and the occasional route of attack in the village and hill area. Teams should look towards taking fast tanks and artillery as they complement each other on this expansive map.
So, welcome into our first map. It will be Prokhorovka. SPALE starting from the north, Ulanska Fantazja starting from the south. So, we're expecting at the beginning of this map is obviously for SPALE to head towards the green side and Ulanska to head towards the kind of village area with that big hill looking over the village. But it changes around these two teams, and I think it'll be interesting to see if SPALE decide to switch it up because they haven't really been that successful in Prokhorovka.
Okay, and so starting off, actually, it looks like I'm a bit wrong because Ulanska is heading right towards the middle, and SPALE is also heading right towards the middle, so we might see an early engagement.
Yeah, we might do indeed. BND is going to try and head up the middle with his AMX 1390. He's got Eurofish to his side, Moki Lumi also following suit pretty quickly in his T69. So pretty standard start from SPALE, although they kind of don't know what BND's doing. He could easily get caught out, but he managed to get away with it scot-free in his AMX 1390. But both teams trying to get the initial spots out, initial damage. Mokilumi landing on Rabi, who actually replies, but no damage onto his tank. And Maj coming over the hill with that Pershing, using the gun depression from that tank effectively. But both these two teams quite happy to play the same tactic, just from a different side.
That's right. I think both were just trying to get the early damage out there without being damaged too much. We can already see here right now, Mokilumi is getting a lot of damage down to 92 HP.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. He's now a one-shot for pretty much every single tank on the team. BND will take out Slim the Greatest, though. And, well, at the moment, SPALE kind of falling for the classic trap on Prokhorovka of just driving over that hill, staying over to one side too much, and then having the other team just kind of looking over it and managing to get the sniping shots off from the side. And I think SPALE playing it pretty risky at the moment, but you know, they are SPALE. Well,
we can see it worked pretty good because Mokilumi, in like a handful of seconds, I think every single tank what can do damage managed to put damage onto Mokilumi, knocking him down to 92 HP.
Yeah, indeed. He's got to be very careful. That'll limit the options for SPALE going forwards, and Eurofish is going to be the one to try and instigate that, knowing pretty much that the whole of Ulanska Fantazja hasn't got this road. So he will be able to scout forwards. The T1's down as well, leaving the only crazy catch-up to possibly do scouting. But there's Balavi.
Balavi did stop a bit behind, ready there for the engagement from Eurofish and BND. Doing a lot of damage onto Eurofish. Eurofish might go down in a few seconds, but Balavi taking a lot of damage himself. One more shot, it'll be 1-for-1 trade here. And there it goes down. So Eurofish went down for Balavi. Fair trade so far, but we still have to keep in mind Mokilumi is down to 92 HP, so it's at the moment in favor for Ulanska.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that Pershing not having the reload, not having the autoloader reload, you know, it's a good thing for them. Now the whole of SPALE's reloading, I think Ulanska Fantazja kind of missed a trick. They could have pushed in. They have the HP advantage, they have the Pershing, and they could just finish off SPALE here. Just take down Mokilumi first, move on to BND, he's the next lowest target, and then, you know, Aga and Fantis will drop pretty quickly after that one. So what am I expecting from SPALE going forwards? BND might try another thing here, but he's got the backup from Fantis and Aga.
It looks like they want to make a move on to Fantasy of Rabi Peel, Icarium and Mace all heading towards Fantas, but Agis was right behind him. They didn't spot him right at the beginning, but they've just thought, well, screw this, we're still going for Fantas. Focus fire down onto him. And again, 1-for-1 trade, but now here's the next one.
Yeah, it goes down to 464. It looks like the other MX 39 is going to come from the side, leaving on 242. Mash is going to try and do the final kill, but Ikarim is going to take that one from him. Nice little kill steal, leaving Mokilumi and BND, and obviously Argeti left on the side of SPALE. And for, well, it wasn't a particularly good trade for leaving only the MX 1390 and the Pershing for them. But the nice thing is that they have that initial damage onto Mokilumi. He's only on 92 HP, so unless he gets the reload and he gets some sort of support from BND in his AMX 1390, he is pretty much done for. And they got at least 200 meters between them. And at the moment, it just looks like Ulanska Fantazja just going to try and take out the T1 and then come up with a different strategy, a good way into SPALE.
Yeah, so at this point it's all down to the positioning of the tanks here. So we have 2-2 tier 8 tanks, one on very low HP from SPALE. So they have to find the right angle, the correct angle, and the perfect timing so they can do enough damage before they manage to focus down Mokilima, or actually not even focus down, just hit one shell. On the other side, we have two T1s fighting against each other. Getty against Crazy Ketchup, and at the moment it's going to favour for SPALE's T1. Crazy Ketchup down to 1 HP, a bit lucky there. But also the two tier 8 tanks are ready to back him up.
Yeah, but the nice thing for SPALE is the fact that Maj did get spotted by Argeti, so at least SPALE has a lot of information now, knowing exactly where both now the T6, the Pershing and the MX 1390 are, and they're just going to take him out, ramming him to death, not wasting a shell from that autoloader, leaving him with still 6 shells, as you can see. But now SPALE is in kind of trouble because Crazy Ketchup, regardless of his HP, he can just push forwards, get the spots out, leave the Pershing and the MX 1390 just to do the sniping and provide the firepower. But I think SPALE now on the rotate with the MX 1390 going to try and come around on to Maj and the MX-1390. See if he can get some side shots. All he has to do now really is do as much damage as he can, retreat, wait 33 seconds till he has to reload, and then push back in again.
Yeah, that's right. And it looks like he, yeah, as you just said, he wants to come from the other side. It doesn't look like Ulanska knows what's coming. Mace, oh no, actually Mace did turn his turret towards the AMX-1390 in the middle. But B&D, he still doesn't know from which angle to come from. Where would it be the best? Where would it make the most sense?
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. I mean, he doesn't really have to worry about the MX-1390 from that range as much as he does have to about the Pershing. The thing is, you know, with the F3, which is a gun on the MX-1390, it only does 1,440 damage. And obviously, if you put Maj's health and the MX-1390's health, it's significantly more than that. And then you took the T69's damage. It does just under 1,000 of it does the average damage per roll, which is 250, 240. And I think SPALE is in kind of trouble now because they basically got two options. Either send the MX-1390 forwards to do the spots, which I think is probably the better idea, and then just use the T69 to try and snipe out, which never really goes that well. And then just see if they get lucky, because it is that T1 sitting in the cap for Ulanska, and the other two are just ready and waiting for that to happen from SPALE. So it's not looking good.
What do you think about just trying some blind shots onto the cap side? Because they know where the T1 most likely is going to be. Well, they actually went for a different decision. B&D is charging right forward, taking a lot of damage from Tournament WGL. I have no idea who this is at the moment, but he knows what to do and managed to take down B&D. So it's 1 against 3 left here. 92 HP against, I don't even work that out, look, around 2,200 HP.
Yeah, around 2,200 indeed. Good math skills, bro.
I have my moments.
Yeah, but that's the GT coming out from SPALE. Once again, really short-sighted movements from them, short-sighted tactics, just not really working out at all. Just the fact that they lost so much damage from Mokilumi. They did actually come back into this one. Yeah. Finally, Maj put the Pershing down, and it was equal to a point. But then they just couldn't do much with the kind of advantage, or at least the equality they have.
I think at the end they could have done more than they've done, because that charging forward from B&D without, well, just a reckless charge, not finding out where the team could be, just no caution at all. I thought, well, let's go for it. We're going to lose this anyway. That's what it looked like. But I think they had quite a lot of chances. They could have, for example, tried to blind shot the T1 because the tent thing in the base was still standing. So probably most likely the T1 is going to be camping there. That's where he's going to cap. Exactly what happened. So just get both tanks, 2 shots in there. You might manage to connect the shell, kill the T1. Perfect. You managed to draw the situation, go out, reload, come back in, try again. Or maybe get both tanks coming from the side. It would have been 2 against 1. AMX-1390 first. Then you spot him, you spot each other. You're going to take a lot of damage, but you might manage to take down the other tank. So then the situation's again in your favour. Yeah. Come from 2 angles against a non-auto-loading tank. You can do a lot of damage there. So I think just charging forwards, hoping that you might manage to survive. You might be looking at no tanks.
I mean they could have charged forwards, but it should have been on the left side of that road. Yeah. You know, gone where the MX-1390 ended up killing him from. If you're just going out that line, at least you have line of fire with your T69. Yeah. They could have taken him down if they're lucky and not get their own MX-1390 killed. And then you've got those houses next to the cap, which you can just sit behind and get the T1, and then you just leave your T69 to do the rest of the work.
Exactly. So, just this one single tank charging forward. Look, it was SPALE again. It's a SPALE move.
Indeed.
What can we do? Oh, let's just charge. We can't win this one. Okay.
Yeah, but
never mind. Next map, we still can win 4-1.
This is the one you predicted, right? Yeah.
I told you.
We'll see, man.
I'm always right.
SPALE are pretty good on Himmelsdorf, but then again, as if they don't charge forwards. Like WoT Pro seems to do what SPALE does on Himmelsdorf as well. They just charge forwards through the middle, which never seems to work for them either. So, like a team which like WoT Pro, which is probably in terms of player skill like +1 compared to SPALE in terms of coordination as well. And doesn't work out for them, so I don't think why SPALE seems to like it so much, but maybe it works.
Well,
I don't know.
It worked many times, because sometimes, well, the current meta game is really, like, the first couple of minutes is slow, positioning, find out what the other team's doing, and if all of a sudden just a surprise charge comes from the side with all, like, because, let me start from the beginning here, because first season, I'd say, the main tactic was stay as a team, stay as a wolf pack.
Yeah.
Then the meta game changed to spread among the map first, see what's going on, get your 2 tanks there, 1 tank there, 1 tank there, do as much damage as possible. And I think that's where the push can work now, because if you just do a surprise attack from the side, you might catch 2 tanks at a position, do a lot of damage, and then you got the favour on your side, and that's where you can carry on from there. So every now and then, throwing in a rush tactic, I think, can be a nice thing, but
SPALE seems to do throw in a lot more than usual.
That's the problem. They're
Yeah.
starting. It's not
it's
surprising
not
anymore.
even surprised. It's just
It's
like,
just
let's
SPALE.
just wait for SPALE.
SPALE's gonna come at some point.
I mean, they did do pretty well against Virtus Pro in the last match day. Actually, only
3-2.
3-2, yeah. So it's not like it doesn't work, but it only seems to work against Virtus Pro. But we can jump straight into Tank Piggy now. This map will be Himmelsdorf, the city map of city maps, as you'll hear in a minute. T1 IS3 to start us off with Ulanska, and double T1 from SPALE, so getting those T1 picks out early. T1 IS3 again from Ulanska, double ISC for SPALE, double AMX61 for Ulanska, double AMX51 for SPALE as well. So back and forth with the same picks, just looking towards the last pick to if these teams are going to switch anything up, it will be that one. But so far, so good. The IS3 is just there to provide the alpha damage. The MX5100 there to provide the burst and more maneuverability, especially because Himmelsdorf, in this state of the game, does come down to, you know, having the firefight and then trying to defend your base at the same time from the other team's T1s. Because I was watching the Russian League today, and the first game against Synergy and Na'Vi, Na'Vi won the firefight in the city like spectacularly, but then they ended up losing because Synergy put one IS3 in their two T1s in the Na'Vi's base, and that happens so many times on Himmelsdorf. Those T1s are just deadly.
That's the thing. Like, it's probably the most asked question the whole year. What are the T1s good for? T1s are good for getting your nerves. Just
nothing.
Just get on your nerves. Like, either can get in the way. On Ensk, we had it many times that the T1 could just come from behind and just keep on doing damage against AMX 5100s, even maybe hit a module, whatever. If you're really, really lucky, maybe hit the ammo rack. Saw that happen once. So, you know, the T1s can be a really annoying thing, and especially on Himmelsdorf, where they just go the opposite of the action and just start capping. Yeah,
it's exactly what you should be thinking. It's just having that clarity of mind as a T1 player to do that. Double AMX600, triple IS3, double T1 for SPALE, but it does look like one SB Ulanska Fantazja is going to swap in a player. Atra 666 from...
No. Actually, I just asked who the tournament account is played by. That's Atra 666.
Okay, right, yeah.
He's a new player, only just joined the team, I think last week it was. So he's kind of still in the renaming process.
He's just one of the oldest players. Like, he was in Panzerfist, who came second in the Go for All Stars against the Red Rush, and like that was in 2011. And he's just been around since then, playing for Panzerfist here and there. Obviously, that team went inactive, but there's got players who still enjoy playing. So good to see him back in the tournament scene. Obviously, a fantastic heavy tank player. Probably, I would say that team was one of the best heavy tank teams. Full stop. But the last pick for Ulanska Fantazja will be that T32, making it a double AMX600, double AMX5100, double IS3, T32, double T1. So the only really strange pick is the American Tier 8 heavy tank, that T32. What do you think about the T32 on this map?
Well, I think it's kind of funny that you say strange pick because...
Yeah, I know. Like, I kind of hate myself
tank.
For saying it.
It was the tank at the beginning of the esports mode. Yeah. But I'm actually happy to see it because I think it's one of the strongest Tier 8 tanks, and it's just it can do so much. It can do good damage. The whole damn position, like, and especially on Himmelsdorf, there's a few positions depending where you start. I think it's better north because you can go up the ramp, do a lot of damage. You can on the free road, I think it is. You got this little window, so you can cover the entire free road without taking any damage. No matter how many tanks are coming, you can just hold that position because you won't take damage. So I think it can be a really strong tank if you use it right. I'm looking forward to see how it's going to perform from the south side, but again, I think on the north side, it's the stronger tank.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just because, you know, it's got the brilliant hull down armor and slightly harder to kill than the IS3 in many respects. But we're just going to jump into a quick map video on how Himmelsdorf could be played.
Himmelsdorf is the city maps of city maps. It's a small one, being 600 by 600 meters. There are 3 routes of attack: the hill, the banana, and the train side. The middle area is relatively easy to push, however can end up in disaster as you can be flanked from every side. The road, often called banana, allows for direct head-on assaults but requires a lot of resources. Both the railroad area and the road next to it are good routes of attack, being very open and straight. However, for those very same reasons, you can be easily caught out and taken down. the map features many densely housed areas, which provides good places for engagements and routes of attack. Teams must be aware of the various routes their opponents can take through the map, as well as the hull-down positions enemies can take throughout the entire map. The trick with Himmelsdorf is to catch an enemy tank unsupported by his teammates and then use that advantage to collapse on the entire enemy team.
So, welcome into Himmelsdorf. It's SPALE starting from the north, Ulanska, Fantazja starting from the south. And at the moment, SPALE pushing heavily up towards the hill. Eurofish, Ager, BND, and the other T1 going out there. So, pretty much a heavy push from SPALE up the hill, with most of their firepower leaving Muppety and Mokilumi to defend the base with those two IS-3s, and obviously Argeti going to the right with that T1. And on the side of Ulanska, Fantazja, we've got a little bit more of a typical tactic, you could say.
Yeah, so right at the beginning we see Slim the Great is heading right towards the most annoying position, in my opinion, on this map. If you're in a T1 tank, just sitting here in the hold down, not hold down position, sorry, in a proxy position. All he can do is just sit there, spot Mokilumi if he won't move, so I don't keep on losing my angle. And yeah, Mokilumi's going to be there open the whole time.
Yeah, it's a really annoying position.
Because there's nothing you can do. The only way you can kill him is if you go open, and you're going to take damage. So I'd rather keep just be annoyed by him. And there again, we see how important the T1 can be.
It's essential. It's so essential on Himmelsdorf. There is not a map where it is more essential on, that's for sure. But as you can see on SPALE's side, BND and Eurofish are kind of up the hill. But Ulanska and Fantazja playing aggressively. There's two IS-3s pushing down the 1-2 line. They've got spotted by obviously Argeti in that T1. Argeti will get taken out pretty sharpish though. But now it's too little too late. SPALE already know what they're doing. They're going to react with that. Send Ager down the hill. Mokilumi and Muppety also relocating, although Muppeti's definitely still in charge of that 8 line.
It was nice to see, first of all, Mokilumi in the middle forward. Okay, we've got a hold down position here. Let's do some damage as long as I can. Loaded an HE shell and connected the shell onto Icarium, knocking down to 471. Not much, but at the end of the day, we saw on the first map, who was it again? Mokilumi with 96 HP. One HE shell could have made the difference there. So let's see if that will come into effect later on. But as you said, one SPP is pushing, heading towards the SPALE base. SPALE spotted early enough and probably will get back in time with a nice fortified position here, but Ulanska knows that, so they are going to take it slow, head slowly, step by step, building by building towards the cap circle, and probably is going to end up to be the typical cap situation. Yeah,
they're going to try and go for the cap, but a couple of shells connecting already. That IS-3 down to 838. That is Atreus playing that tank. Mokilumi's also trying to side scrape, but I think SPALE's in a great position to deal with this one. Obviously, apart from those two IS-3s, they've also got Eurofish in the MX-6100 trying to come from the side, but only 44 seconds left on the cap.
That's right, so we can see Kareem here. He's trying to halt the back position off the T1. So this is a standard cap situation on Himmelsdorf. Two tanks cover the T1. He can't be attacked anymore from the front because you have to go back by 2 tier 8 tanks and also 2 hold down tier 8 tanks in the base. And on the other side from behind, you got one tank just backing up. But Muppety doesn't care, he's just going right forward and will hopefully take down the T1. And he's going to go full suicide because he has no time. He has to do it.
Yeah, he has got no do it, but there goes a reset. Eurofish also pushing in, connecting the first shell, 308. Ager's going to come from behind. Remember, he's got that BL9, but does minimum damage, 305 on Belavi. But I think at the end of the day, SPALE have the HP now. They have the positions to take out the Ulanska Fantazja side, but BND going down. Eurofish taking down Belavi, but Mokilumi comes in, saves the day, taking down Slim the Greatest, resetting the cap completely, leaving only that T-32 with the brilliant hull armor and the IS-3 for Ulanska Fantazja. Mokilumi's now on the hunt as well, but Ager's probably a 3-shot, a 1-shot even in that IS-3, and generally SPALE looking quite damaged at this point.
Yeah, that's right. The autoloader has to fall back. Eurofish is down to 96 HP. Probably won't make it. Ikaru's going to come in time. And that's the biggest problem. Ulanska had 2 tanks for full HP while SPALE only had 1, but they still managed to do a lot of damage on Ikarum. Mokilumi was still full HP. Mice also full HP, but if they managed to kill Ikarum in time, what they did, it's 1 against 1.
This is 1 versus 1, but Mash has the advantage of 1,500 HP to Mokilumi's 1,131. So consider that 1 shell in the favor of Mash. But a brilliant first connection coming out from Mokilumi, 467. That's pretty much the highest damage you'll do, 488 being the greatest damage you can do. But it is 1 versus 1, 384 coming out. One of these two has to bounce it. Mokilumi has to bounce 1 shell if he wants to win this one.
Mice has to bounce it. If this one connects, After that one shot onto Mukalumi with its low damage roll, this one's going to go into Mukalumi's favor.
It could go into Mukalumi's favor. You're right there.
You're right.
He's got the reload and that low damage roll, the RNG coming into effect. So Match, yeah, he has to bounce this one. I think Mukalumi's going to do it. It's a 1 versus 1. Mukalumi finally taking down Match, regardless of the fact that he actually had lower HP. It's just that reload, getting the first shot off, getting the shot first, and it just comes out on top. So brilliant play by him, and all together doing a spectacular 3.1k damage.
That was awesome. That high damage roll actually saved the day. I had this discussion with players the other day. Yeah. How big is RNG a factor in esports? And I was the opinion, and I still am the opinion, it's of course is a factor as it's just proven, but overall it's the biggest factor is a team play. But this one, wow.
Yeah, I mean, if it does come to a 1 versus 1 situation like that, then RNG plays the biggest role, in my opinion. Like, with this caliber of players where they're always going to land the shell unless they get extraordinarily unlucky, then the amount of damage they do, just, you know, that it kind of outweighs everything. So, you know, Mukalumi in that situation does 467 a couple of times.
And after that, like the following shell from Match was then like 320 or 330, something like that.
So it's like 140 damage less.
And that actually managed to even the situation again. It was down to reload time. But looking at the damage, we can see Match done 2.9k, and on the other side, Mukalima doing 3.1k. So we have 2 outstanding players in this game, while the other team doing a standard 1.5, 1k, pretty much what you usually see in a normal matchup. But Mukalimi and Match just stepping up here.
Yeah, stepping up indeed, and that's really what you want from your best heavy tank players. And in my opinion, those 2 are probably the best heavy tank players on their team. But we can jump now onto our next map. I don't think tank picking has quite begun yet, but it should be underway any second now. So at the moment, I would say it's even. Obviously, in terms of map, it's pretty even. Prokhorovka going to Ulanska Fantazja, and now Himmelsdorf by the slimmest of margins and some luck definitely going to SPALE. And I think, you know, this one's going to be pretty even as well. I don't really consider one of these 2 teams to be the better on Ruinberg, although I think SPALE plays in many respects like Kazan-Crew, and Kazan-Crew are very good in Ruinberg.
I want to see. This is like one of the maps where I want to see T32, by the way, as well.
Yeah, I want to see the T32. Well, I don't know. I think the IS3 is probably a little bit better on this map than the T32 just because of its speed.
I want to have a quick have a look how the T32 actually performed. Standard 1.5k.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ruinberg is one of the newer maps in the map pool. And what do you think about it so far?
I think it's been good. I enjoy Ruinberg quite a lot. It's pretty quick. You have a lot of options as a team. You know, the village, the city, the middle. I think it provides for a lot of intellectual, strategic play. And it was the map on the original Eurosteel, and the amount of training we did on it. It's the map of strategy, in my opinion, compared to Mines as well. I think those are the only 2 which really provide as much as they do. So tank picking is well underway. Double T1 for SPALE, T1 AMX 1390 for Ulanska Fantazja, AMX 1390 T69 from SPALE. So standard picks thus far. We're expecting at least 1 strange pick on this map. Probably the Pershing, I would consider. Not going to be like Dinova picking a KV5 or something.
I don't think the KV5 suits this map because, as I said, this map is one of the strategic maps, and you just have so many possible things you can actually do. You can go full city, you can go full village, do a mix, start in village, go over to the city, and then push from the other side. So just so many different things you can do, but you actually need tanks with speed who can give you this diversity in your tactics then. So having a KV5 was basically just a steel box on tracks, what rolls really slow. I think it wouldn't suit the map and wouldn't suit a fast game style. What's best for this map? Yeah,
and I think at the end of the day as well, if you have a tank that is so slow, it doesn't suit the other tanks in the team. So if you have like AMX 3090s, but you have a KV5, it's like, what's the point of that? They don't support each other at all.
Yeah, there's no synergy between these tanks. You know, taking away the advantage of the one tank for the disadvantage of the other tank. So, as you said, just
it's a loss-loss situation.
The tanks just don't go with each other. So if you go for a KV5, you should go full heavy. And if you go full heavy, you're already giving away your tactic. You're already saying, all right, we're going to go through a safer route, a slower route, where we have a lot of cover, where we can kill you step by step, instead of going like right over the field for a fast push. So you're already nailing it down for your enemy team by your picks.
Yeah, and we're just waiting for that next pick from Ulanska Fantazja now, taking their time. I believe they're probably just going through the tactic in the head, and obviously the tactic is directly correlated to the tanks they pick. As we were talking about, if you have a slower tank, then slower tank picks, then you're likely to go towards the city. If you have a faster tank pick, then it definitely favors that village push because you have to drive through the middle of the field, which can be vulnerable. T1, T69 for Ulanska Fantazja, SPALE picking the T69 and that 5100 on top of the picks that they've already made. Looking for the last pick from these two teams. Obviously now equal in terms of maps, 1-1. With the, I guess, relatively new rules we have, obviously all 5 maps have to be played, regardless of result on the map. So if it's a draw, we still just go on to the next map, regardless. So AMX 5100 from the side of Ulanska Fantazja, T69, AMX 5100 from SPALE. Last pick from these two will be that T69, making it a triple T69, AMX 3090, 5100, double T1 from SPALE. And the AMX 3090, AMX 6100, and triple T69, as well as those 2 T1s from Ulanska Fantazja. So
A mirror match.
pretty much exactly a mirrored matchup indeed. And that's going to make it a little bit more interesting, in my opinion, because now 1 map apiece, mirrored matchup, we kind of have whoever's the better team is going to win it here.
Yeah. And you know what I just remembered? You didn't say your prediction, did you?
I said my prediction. I think it's going to go 3-2 to SPALE.
Okay, so who's going to take this map? Well, let's talk to that after we actually introduce the map, then we can see more into detail who's going to win.
All right, here is Ruinberg.
Ruinberg is one of our newer city maps, and it's fairly large, being 800 by 800 meters. There are 3 main routes of attack: the roads leading to the city, the road going through the middle, and the village area. Each of these have 2 important areas to control. The city has very large roads and plenty of opportunities for teams to flank. The long roads also provide for good sniping areas as well as corner shooting. Teams often push through the village area, and once controlled, the team can move on to the enemy's base. You should pick heavy tanks with high alpha damage for corner sniping, as well as a faster tank for the middle spot.
So, welcome into our 3rd map. It is Ruinberg SPALE, once again starting from the north, and Ulanska Fantazja starting from the south. As you can see right now, SPALE heading towards the village, as we would expect. Only Argeti and at T1 going towards the city. But the rest of them, obviously, Eurofish is going to do the initial spot in that AMX 3090. And on the side of Ulanska Fantazja, we've got pretty much all the teams going, or the whole team going towards the city with most tanks. I think that's pretty much down to their playstyle. It changes a little bit. They're our team that enjoy a brawl, and they're certainly good at it.
Yeah, right at the beginning, we already see some damage dealt here to Archers in his AMX 3090, down to 886 HP. No big deal yet, but they managed to capture the city. I just see a problem for Archers here, because he's actually stuck on a little mountain, and if he wants to go down there, if he gets spotted, he's going to take a ton of damage. On the other side, we can see slow push, take it down to T1, and now have the whole city for themselves. They can now decide, do we carry on pushing the city, do we retreat to our base, go over to the village side? They can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, indeed, that's important. But I think SPALE have been vulnerable in the past for that cheesy push into the cap, but not so much anymore. They've got that T1 there, although it's kind of out on a limb. You could get spotted by an MX 3090 if he doesn't be careful because of the view range on that tank.
It should go a bit further back in my opinion.
Yeah, it should go towards the houses. If it has the binocular telescopes in 25% of view range, it will definitely spot if anyone tries to start capping. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Eurofish pushing down the 0 line though. He's going to try and get some spots out. He obviously did find Rabio Peel on that T69. Didn't manage to connect any shells there. Rabio Peel also trying to do some blind shots. You can see his reload going crazy.
Yeah, both sides are trying some lucky shots here. Fantas and Muklima on SPALE side both emptied their clips. On the other side, we see Rabio PL, and I think it was one of the AMX 50-100s who also tried it. There's actually only one there. I think it was Bullary who tried some shots themselves as well.
They're just trying to take out the T1s, and at the moment, Ulanska Fantazja are winning that battle with 2 T1s to only 1. So. I think in terms of position, neither really has the advantage at this point. In terms of tanks, obviously Ulanska has a little bit of an advantage. But at the moment, SPALE just peering over towards the cap, as you can see. And they're just going to try and catch out Ulanska Fantazja, who probably will look towards SPALE's cap and maybe try something cheesy, and that's what SPALE's predicting at this point in time. But the great thing, what teams have started doing is they try and try this cheesy push. They always shoot out in towards the middle of these buildings and here and in these bushes, just to do as much damage and scare off the other team before they actually push in for the cap.
Yeah, and talking about pushing towards the cap, it looks like Ulanska is slowly, slow but steady, heading like building by building towards the city. They managed to push 2 tanks further forward. Archer's still behind, backing up their the back entrance of the city, or the side entrance and mid entrance. Yeah, they just want to do really safe. They want to be really, really safe here before pushing onto the cap circle.
Yeah, they want to make sure they have every single, you know, equation, every single variable under their control before they do anything.
But we already see some shells connecting here. Rabipiel is just trying some prediction shots, and then SPALE just thought, well, you try it. Let us just shoot towards your shots, and managed to connect 1 shell onto Rabipiel, and he's down to 1,115. So some damage dealt onto the tier 8 tanks from Ulanska. You can see on the right-hand side with the new nice mod how much damage actually already been dealt compared to the damage taken from SPALE. Damage taken by SPALE is actually 0.
Yeah, they're on pretty much 100% HP across the board. And reload as well. I mean, the only person who's really not on 100% in terms of reload is Fantazja, who's now shot 2 shells, trying to get some out, trying to catch out perhaps a T1, or even, as they did before, catch out another tier 8 tank.
And yeah, it looks like he's doing a good job there. The last shell in his clip didn't manage to connect towards Rabipiel. He's now down to 870 HP. So there's 2 tanks from Ulanska now that are pretty well. We already took a bit of damage there, and if it comes down to a big team fight, these are the tanks that are going to be focused down first, taken down really fast, and then playing to be in SPALE's favour. Man, my English and choice of words not that good today. Damn it.
Never been good, bro. Never been good.
Thank you.
But yeah, Muppetys, he did actually call out help, so I think he's going to try and push into the cap. Obviously, one of the tanks from Ulanska Fantazja is sitting up there, so he's going to try and fend off any attack from him. But that's probably the next move from SPALE, I would think, because Eurofish is behind, and to be honest, if he doesn't do that, then he's already out on a limb. Like, if Ulanska Fantazja decide to push somewhere and Eurofish is quite so far away, he's not going to be able to get back to the base. He's not going to be able to support his team. So what is he going to do? He's going to have to go for the cap with Muppety or try and flank from behind.
Yeah, I think second option will be the best for them. Just come from the other side and start a crossfire onto the enemy team, and that's where you can then do a lot of damage. But it looks like Ulanska is now backing off from their idea to cap, or to start a cap here, because they're taking a bit of damage. They tried some blind shots onto positions around the cap circle, taking a lot of damage by doing so. So it means, okay, they got their tanks here already in position, and just rolling into this will be well, lethal, because that's what one thing you don't want to do: drive into camping, hiding tanks. Indeed,
and as you can see, Eurofish trying to connect some blind shots onto the cap of the Ulanska side. Slim the Great is sitting up there, not managing to do it, and having to go on reload, reducing the amount of shells he has in his tank, and possibly if Ulanska Fantazja just decide to push, which they are, you know, they're coming back to base.
Yeah,
they're at least retreating. Yeah, they know that at least one tank from SPALE, at least one tier 8 tank from SPALE is sitting up towards their base, so they're going to try and catch him out, retreat. The best that they do that, because I think with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be pretty hard, especially considering the fact that the AMX 3090 is as fast as it is. But it really does depend on the fact that if SPALE realise that Ulanska Fantazja has retreated, which they haven't so far, how fast can they react on that?
Yeah, so we can look at the overview map here at this point, and we can see that all the team is heading back towards base. I think what Ulanska thought is that it's going to come towards a push here from SPALE, just because only one tank was doing the damage. It was only Fantazja who was doing the damage towards the Ulanska team. So they might think, okay, he's fortified, the rest of the team is pushing. And now they just came back, take down T1, and will now try to head towards the remaining team of SPALE maybe, or just start capturing their base and let SPALE make the move.
I think Ulanska Fantazja are going to try and push up a little bit in their base and then get themselves back around. But the thing is, if SPALE does decide to push, as long as one of their tank doesn't get caught out, I think they're going to be pretty successful.
They should be.
Just because they will have the cover from their houses and the bushes, and obviously they'll have the view, and they'll have the information first, which Ulanska Fantazja does not have. First shell connecting onto Rabipiel.
Second shell. Third shell, Rabbit PL down to 432. Ikarun took 1 shell on the side, and also now Tractor taking another shell, so they now SPALE can start running down to him. 306 HP left, 2 more shells connected, 2 more shells are needed, and BND takes them down to the other side, and there comes a final shell from the 5100 from BND, now in favour from SPALE.
Yeah, SPALE now 1 tier 8 tank ahead, and Ravi appeals down to 124, so a 1 shot as Aitra is playing that tournament account down to 656 as well in his AMX 3090. And at the moment, SPALE having the information, react on it quickly, really paying off at this point. Now 1 tier 8 tank ahead and done a lot of damage to the other tier 8 tanks. But they are on reload. You can see the 5100, the T69, and the other AMX 3090 is also all on reload, so they're going to have to wait at least 20 seconds. Fantazja does take one from Maj, but Maj getting spotted out. And at this point in time, all SPALE's waiting for is that 5100's reload.
Yeah, they have to. At the moment, they haven't won the game yet. They still don't have the tier point advantage. So I think they're just going to start regrouping, push into there, maybe try to take down Rabbit PL, and on since Archer's in the way, take him then while I'm at it. I mean, that should do the game for them. At this point, they're still waiting for the reloads. Reloads are all done now, by the way. Sorry. So should be a matter of seconds until the push comes. BND is starting heading towards the Archers. Gear is also there. McLean right behind them. So it's going to be over in a few seconds.
Yeah, Tournament GL taking down 424. Aga's going to come around the corner, but you can see Maj replying with a lot of damage onto Mokulumi. Mokulumi's down to 614, but the thing is, BND still has 4 shells on autoloaders, so 1.2k damage. Ravi PL already calling out the GG, but it might be a little bit early. But Maj probably reloading down to 77 HP. BND will finish him off, no problem at all. 42 seconds left on the cop, and Aga is going to push around as well.
Last man, or last tier 8 tank standing is Bellevue. He just thinks, oh, screw this game's lost. I'm going to take down one at least. I might even manage to take down BND.
Yeah,
oh,
he was going to take down
Mokulumi. Maybe oh, no, he won't.
Mokulumi crashed into him, did 509 damage. Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, I like the
classic SPALE.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just fail at the moment instead of SPALE. But they're going to take this one on Ruinberg, now bringing the scores up to 2-1, winning on Himmelsdorf and now Ruinberg. Ulanska Fantazja, not too bad. I mean, look how much damage they did to SPALE. BND down to 256, Eurofish on 509. And obviously taking down a couple of T1s and a T69. So not a bad performance from Ulanska Fantazja at all. But SPALE just came out on top.
That's right. Again, BND is doing a pretty good job. BND was a top player on the first map doing 4 kills and only 2k damage. Now the next map, or no, the third map, again top player, 2.5k damage and 2 kills. So BND is actually stepping up as well. He's carrying the team at this point, I think.
Yeah, he's definitely doing well.
Yeah, Mokulumi also doing well again with 1.7k damage. On the other side, we see Ulanska. Only man who really done a good job was Bellevue at the end. Taking down
Mokulumi. Didn't really do anything. He just got crashed into. Yeah. It's not as brilliant as plays. But yeah,
come on, don't take away credit from me. He did a good job.
Yeah, all right. He put himself in the right position, I guess, to get rammed. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to steps, which will be our 4th map, obviously, out of a total of 5.
Looking good for me so far.
It's looking all right. I think they're going to take this one though, because they won it on Prokhorovka. Ulanska won it on Prokhorovka, so I think if they're going to win on any map, it will be steps.
But they won't win.
I think they'll win.
No offense, Ulanska. I really like you guys, but
to be fair, you wear SPALE t-shirts to work and stuff.
I know. Uli.
Yeah, it's the most popular t-shirt.
Yeah, they bright me.
What? Yeah, they do. It's good. It's good fame, I guess.
Yeah.
Getting tournament sponsors and stuff.
No, it's just like they know who is the man to have on your side.
Right.
And that's obviously me. So they thought, well, how do we get this guy on our side? Just be good to him. You know?
I'm pretty sure the Wargaming guys in Paris also wear SPALE t-shirts to walk. I've seen Berber wear SPALE. Kazna, yeah. Kazna. Not good. I'm pretty sure Lauren, if she had a Kazna crew t-shirt, would wear it every single day.
Not for Kazna, just for Hyber.
Yeah.
She won't wear it for Kazna. It's just for
Hyber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive Hyber fanboy.
Yeah.
And what about Melly? What t-shirt do you reckon she'd wear? As she says, careful. We probably heard it.
This is a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Seven Sins?
I think, I think Seven Sins, because Seven Sins ain't in the league anymore.
Oh.
And, you know, Melly's a bit slower to realise that the team, like, what's going on in the league. And I got, like, chocolate bars falling towards me or whatever it was. Yeah, it was a chocolate bar.
Oh, my God.
Oh, thank you, Melly. That's so heartwarming.
Chocolate.
We made Melly mad. No, Melly, I think Melly, to be honest, will be a playing duck supporter just because it's former WOT.
Yeah,
And
probably,
she casts for WOT every now and then. So you should also check that out. I'm not sure, do you still do it, Melly? So she does like the tank guide, I think it was. Okay, no tank guide. But she does streams every now and then.
Yeah.
So just check out, should check out the more VOT or now playing Ducks page every now and then and see what's going on. Or definitely worth.
No, there's still more WOTs carry on. It's just more WOT are more towards the casual side of playing.
Yeah.
I'm saying more WOT like a German, more WOT.
It's a German community page. So if you're a German fan out there and you want to support a German team, just head over to that page. Definitely worth checking out. They do put a lot of effort into the community, and I think they deserve really good feedback for that. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, we're just waiting on tank picks now. These two teams taking a while. I think in terms of steps, it's just going to be the MX-1390s and the T69s. But SPALE do like that 416 on steps, and obviously the Pershing does come in as well. I think we saw Virtus Pro and Team Dignitas. Obviously, Team Dignitas took the Pershing, and it worked out quite well. And the T32 has also come out. So maybe these two teams are going to start picking those more Russian-centric and Fulcrum game, and also I think they use the T32 on here.
What I want to see in this map, to be honest, is instead of a 1390, go for one, or instead of a T69, go for a T71, and just bring in a freaking Tier 2 artillery.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, T2 artillery is not too bad.
My producer's saying me that he can't hear me. I think he can hear me pretty good.
No,
Never mind. But to come back to what I was saying, I want to see a Tier 2 artillery.
It's not very good anymore, man. They've been nerfed.
Just for the lols. It's SPALE. Come on. If any team out of all of them, then SPALE.
Okay, fair enough. Right, SPALE could do it. They're little strange lineups, but we can jump into tank picking now. Has begun. T1 AMX-1390 from Ulanska Fantazja, double T1 for SPALE, and the T1 AMX-1390 for Ulanska, and the double AMX-1390 for SPALE. So at the moment, so far, a mirrored pick. Yeah. Just two AMX-1390s for both teams, two T1s for both teams, and now Ulanska Fantazja picking that double T69. And that goes for SPALE as well, bringing the tally up to two T69s, two MX-1390s, two T1s. Now 3 MX-1390s for Ulanska. It's their last pick.
Too many numbers, right?
What?
Too many numbers, right?
I'm used to it, man.
You're not good with numbers.
I'm pretty good with numbers, man. I'm pretty good at numbers.
No, you're not.
I can count up to 10 and everything.
No, the only two numbers you're good at are 1 and 0s.
0, yeah. I'm not sure if 0 is really a number. I guess it is.
It is. See, I told you you're not good with numbers.
I guess it is. AMX-1390 is the last pick from SPALE, making it a triple AMX-1390, double T69, double T1 mirrored lineup from both teams.
Cool,
yeah.
I just wanted this awkward silence.
It's the best thing, man. You know, you got a face for radio, but you're not very good at radio, man.
So you're talking about yourself at the moment? Or what?
No.
Oh, you're talking about me?
About you.
Nah.
Yeah. Never heard that expression, you got a face for radio?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you probably should go into it. It's true. Every German is bad at radio. I'll give you that one.
So we come down here to offending the
Anyone
nations.
who's watched Eins Live knows that there was bad at radio. You know, my computer thinks I'm gay. That song. Why do they put that one on?
Now we're offending... we're going down the road here, mate. You don't want to carry on going down this road. You are trying to offend as many groups.
I'm not offending anyone. It's a song.
Oh, you're talking about Germans. Now you're talking about...
Dude, I'll give them that. British soap operas are awful. So it's not like...
Oh, so now we're offending English people.
I'm English myself, so I'm going to offend my...
Let's carry on. Which country can we do now?
I don't know.
We have a Polish and Finnish team. You got anything to say against them?
No, I like the Finnish. The Hesburg is great.
Finnish people are fat. Okay. Well, what do you have about the Polish people then?
I like the Polish people. The vodka's good.
Oh, Polish people drinkers. Okay, so I think we should stop right here.
I didn't say any of that. That was you, Stephen.
No, you said it. You said it. You put it out there. I'm just connecting the dots here, mate.
Exactly.
Okay, so before Ollie destroys himself even more here, I think we should start kicking off the game here. Next map, Stevs. I'll help you out here, mate. All right.
Are you taking piss out of boxers now because they don't kick it anymore? What are you saying, man?
Who's
boxers.
What do you mean boxers? Where did that one come from?
Over your head, man.
Where did boxers
come from? Because you said kicking. Let's kick it off here.
Oh, that sucked. That sucked. That was so bad.
All right.
All right. So let's just kick off steps here because Ollie is just failing completely, and here's steps.
Can't put this one onto me. But yeah, we're gonna jump onto steps, which will be our fourth map.
Steps is the other open map in the map pool, being 1,000 by 1,000, having no urban areas. There are 3 primary routes of attack: the trench, the rocky area to the left, and the middle road. The road offers direct routes to the enemy's base, but despite having a staggering amount of cover along the way, you are vulnerable to attack from all sides. The trench area provides for great engagements as it's only a few hills and rocks to cover the teams. Most of the engagements occur around this rock, the winner of which gains a crucial foothold on the map. The rocky left area provides the most cover for attacking and defending teams. It's essential that you pick tanks that can traverse from one side of the map to the other rapidly. They also must be able to get to the various key locations as quickly as possible. That is the key to victory.
So, welcome into our 4th or 5th map, I think. No, 4th map, yeah. SPALE starting from the south, Ulanska, Fantazja starting from the north. And SPALE doing pretty much the standard tactic you see on steps from the south, which is pushing all tanks towards the rocky mountain area. Not really mountain area, it's quite flat, but it's got the peaks of mountains at least. So that's BND, Eurofish, Aga, Fantiz, and Mokilumi, and only Muppety and Argeti. Muppety pushing towards the middle, and Argeti keeping it cool in the base.
Yeah, on the other side, we see Ulanska doing pretty much the same, heading towards the rocky side of the map on the left-hand side. Out of the point of view of the map, let's say that way, so people don't get things mixed up. And straight away at the beginning, we see the 2 T1s facing each other, and Crazy Ketchup actually winning this situation, not killing himself, but managing to spot the tank early enough so his team can back him up. On the other side, we also have some spots going on towards the F1 area. Not sure which tank will spot it, but they know that something's coming. And straight away, we see Eurofish heading right towards the north side. Agea and Fan is backing him up, and Ulanska seemed to be kind of surprised. They knew stuff is coming, but they didn't reckon it would come that fast. Now it's 4 against 4, and so far no damage dealt, but it's looking good for SPALE because not many shells were fired on their side, while on the other side, Ulanska already had a few shells at their clips. Fantas thought, let's reload before we head into there, so he just hit that C button, and will, as soon as they reload, then maybe go for a push.
Yeah, and Eurofish is down to 895, but he did connect a shell, so pretty even. Belavi down to 866, so actually Eurofish coming out on top of that by about 30 HP, 20 HP. So, yeah, pretty normal tactic, I guess, for SPALE. They're in their own common territory, pushing hard forwards, playing aggressively, and Ulanska Fantazja perhaps a little bit out of their comfort zone, being pushed so early on. They're definitely used to the standard 2 or 3 minutes of downtime you have at the beginning of the games, the information gathering part. Well, SPALE definitely happy to push forward, but I think they're going to be on the retreat. BND signaling that with the reload. Eurofish also pushing backwards, leaving only Fantis and Mokulumi both with their T69s to keep watch and make sure they don't get caught out from behind.
Well, that's where this fast push comes into play. Like as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, that it just catches some teams at a position, and that's what happened with Ulanska. They didn't manage to get their standard positions. They didn't manage to be comfortable where they were, and had to first of all find the ideal situation, the ideal position to hold off the push from SPALE. Didn't manage to find it, dealt some damage towards Eurofish, who's down to 895, but on the other side, SPALE managed to connect some shells onto Belavi, who is down to 866. So overall, pretty much even. Just the only difference is that Mopetti got killed.
Yeah, and Eurofish and pretty much the rest of SPALE now just on the rotate, getting ready to go back to the other side of the map, pushing down the trench area, knowing that Ulanska Fantazja probably still thinks that they're on the other side. And this is pretty common, actually, from the south. Pushing up one side, usually the mountain, trying to make sure the other team knows that they're there, pushing back around, going along the trench, knowing 100% that the other team isn't there, and then just using the trench, which is probably the better area, in my opinion, just to play out their tactic from there on out. So at the moment, in terms of positioning, definitely SPALE have the advantage, and especially with their 2 T69 players being as superb as they are, Fantis and Mokulumi, they definitely have the options. But only one map ahead, and that's the thing. If Ulanska Fantazja do come back here, make it 2-all, it'll leave only the last map to possibly be the decider, which you never really want as a team.
That won't happen. Since I had a different prediction, you know. Sorry.
Well,
it just can't happen.
See.
It just can't happen because there's one thing people say is I
Doctor Who in the house here.
I always think I'm right.
Yeah.
And I am right. So it's going to be 4-1. Sorry again for towards Ulanska, but they're going to put up a big fight, but they're going to lose at the end of the day. It's already fixed. It's already known.
All right, Doctor Who, mate.
But yeah, to come back into game, it looks like SPALE now is trying a different angle.
Yeah, they're going to try and come around.
They will.
They can try, they can test the waters. They're not really in that much danger.
The problem with this side is it's just too open, and they have to come up to a hill. So if you come up a hill, as you know, tanks, like the way tanks work, the gun will be pointing up towards the sky first, and they have to drop down on an even level so they can shoot straight forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's like common.
How everything works, man.
Yeah, you know. So coming up a hill, first of all, you have a disadvantage if you get spotted early enough, and that's why looks like Ulanska is prepared for such a push, since they have Slim the Great, who has a great position here to spot the tanks, even though the area is really slim. I tried to put out a pun there, it was really bad.
God. I mean, you're better than Lauren, but just by the smallest of margins.
Just like a slim bit better to be the greatest.
Oh.
God, that was bad again.
You can have another crack at that a little bit throughout today's show.
I'll try the second game if I can come up with some better puns there.
Yeah. Maybe go on thepun.com or thegreatestpuns.com. I don't know.
Slim the Greatest.
Maybe ask what?
Slimthegreatest.com.
Slimthegreatest.com.
Because you said the greatest, you know, I want to put Slim in there again.
Yeah.
So we come towards see what Ulanska's doing at the moment. We see that they know where they're coming from, and we have Ikarum on a really, really nice position. If we could quick check them out. You see he's up on the hill. He managed to sneak all the way up this route. That's where the physics come into play again. Open up the maps so much more. So the maps are actually nearly, you can use nearly every single position on the map, and Ikarum is ready.
All right, Einstein. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah, that was a bit uncalled for. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, you cut me off there, man. I was trying to build up some hype towards this position, but it was fair enough that he cut me off there because Ikarum didn't manage to connect any shells towards Eurofish, who was trying to come up. Is now trying some blind shots towards the area where SPALE was, or where he expects them to be. But same as on Ruinberg, none of the blind shots are connecting so far.
But the thing is about Ulanska Fantazja, they haven't really moved, to be honest. They're pretty much in exactly the same position. I mean, you know, SPALE hasn't been all that aggressive, but I'll give them credit that they've actually tried from different angles. They tried from the mountainside, realizing that the T-69s were there, had the hold down position, so they couldn't do anything. They couldn't push forwards without taking a lot of damage to begin with. And then they pushed around back to the trench, see if they can come from a different angle. Can't, because they keep on getting spotted by that T1, so that means they'll get the shots again. But on Ulanska Fantazja's side, they're just happy to sit back and just wait for SPALE to come onto them.
I think it was one of the main reasons was the early push. They just, because they was knocked down really, really early and they couldn't do what they was planning to do maybe. They thought, no, okay, right, they've come this far, let's let them carry on, like kind of, let us get in our nice positions, and they come from the other side, oh, they come from there, let's, again, just sit down. And you also have to keep in mind, on the other side, they are also in disadvantage on when it comes down to maps, 2-1 down, so they can't go too risky anymore.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, being one map down, they don't want to play too aggressively.
Yeah.
This is a need they win. They've only got one win in, under their belt, and SPALE sitting in fourth on the league on the leaders board. They don't want to lose it. This is one of the teams, you know, SPALE's been here since season 1 against Ulanska. They need this win. This is one they can't give up. This is the one they have to win it. As you can see, you got SPALE sitting up here, pretty much towards the trench, and Ulanska Fantazja just on exactly the other side of the map. It is really polarized in that respect. It's a bit like Prokhorovka, and it's a bit like, I guess, Ruinberg, because you've got the city and you've got the village.
Yeah, that's right. And there's not much to say at the moment, because I think both teams just don't know what to do. Like, the positions, what Ulanska's got is just stopping any kind of push, and there's also no big HP advantage for any side, so you can't just say, well, let's just go right in there now. We can tank enough damage to do any kind of crazy push. So at this point, I think this is going towards a draw.
Yeah, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, but it does look like the MXA-90 is starting to mobilize. As I say that, he gets himself immobilized and his tracks are down. But it does look like Ulanska Fantazja is starting to break the ice a little bit, pushing forwards, being a little bit more aggressive, but with 1 minute and 17 seconds left, I'm unsure if they're actually going to be able to do anything. But now SPALE using those blind shots to try and take down the T1, which might actually work into the favor of Ulanska Fantazja. because they're pushing.
Yeah, Ulanska might be doing that. What I was saying in the first season, that teams, if there's only a few seconds left on the clock, just charge for it. If you have their HP damage, just charge for it. Kill one tier 8 tank, perfectly timed, that the time runs out, and then you got the 8 HP difference in. So this might be what Ulanska is actually doing. And since SPALE just emptied their clips, they could come right into time. But it looks like the timing is going into favor of SPALE now. They just managed to reload, and Mukulumi and Fantazja are back into the game, doing a lot of damage, or have the potential to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, match is down to 120 HP. He does get taken down by Fantaz. Arabio peels down to 904, and I think Fantaz is going to try and get on the rotate, but look at the other tanks from SPALE. BND now charging in with that AMX 1390. He has got 6 shells left in his autoloader, but he does get tracked by Ikarim and Balavi, who are coming from the side. Fantaz trying to get on the rotate behind that AMX 1390. Eurofish there to provide the firepower. Finally, Aga gets taken down in that AMX 1390, evening things up here to 1 tier 8 tank each, and BND caught out in the middle. He does get taken down by Balavi, and suddenly, looks like Ulanska Fantazja are back in the game.
That's right. Artis is still alive, fighting against Eurofish. Eurofish is on reload there, and game finished. It looks like it just worked out. I think the tier points went into favor from...
It's exactly even. It's a draw.
Oh, it's 3-3. So draw. It was a close thing at the end because Artis was down to 800 to 100 HP. One more shell. What was missed by... I think it was Eurofish. No, it wasn't Eurofish in the middle. It was actually B&D in the middle.
Yeah.
Who
actually got himself killed as well.
Yeah. If he would have managed to connect one more shell onto Artis in the tournament WGL account, that would have went into favor for SPALE, and they would have won the game then.
Yeah.
So these sloppy shots from the tanks right in the middle actually cost SPALE the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't think BND really needed to be there either. He was right in the middle. I think he should have been back. I think he should have been back with Eurofish, to say the very least. But
he wanted to go down. Like it looked like he wanted to charge towards.
He got tracked though.
Yeah, he got tracked, and he thought, oh, screw this. We got overtaxed on the other side. Let's shoot at them. He should. If he goes for this commitment, he should commit to the end. Go right for him, ram him, whatever.
Yeah.
Just connect all your shells, because he's going to die anyway. He's going to die in the middle anyway. So why spread your damage, focus it on one tank,
He was like a deer caught in the headlights a bit. He just panicked, and you know, the pressure got to him a little bit.
We can see he shot 7 shots and only hit 2 of them.
Yeah,
He's done some blind shots as well at the beginning. So let's say in that fight it was 5 shots maybe.
Maybe 50% hit, maybe 50% hit.
So
ratio.
it's sloppy for players on this level.
Yeah, and
also it cost me my prediction.
Yeah,
so I'm
you're
really not happy with your SPALE.
You're wrong, but they're still 2-1 up, so you could be right in at least one respect if they do end up winning mines.
It's not enough. I only do 100%.
Okay, well.
So now I didn't manage 100%, so it's a loss. Full stop.
But it could still be a draw.
Then we both lost.
Couldn't be a draw. Yeah.
No, it can be.
No.
2-2.
Oh yeah, if they win this one, it'll be a draw.
So you're not good with numbers, aren't you?
I thought they had one more, but they didn't. So double T1 to start us off with from SPALE.
I got you back.
Okay, cool, bro. I don't really want you to get my back, but it's all good. Yeah, but we're going to be moving on to Mines, which is a map we don't really see that much of. And if we do see it, it's always picked as the last map just because, you know, some teams don't like Abbey. That's definitely for sure. Like, if you're going to pick Abbey or Mines, the more simple to play is definitely Mines, and I think the more predictable is Mines. But, you know, if you're like Kaznakru or Team Dignitas, who are really good on Abbey, then obviously you're going to pick that map instead of Mines. So, yeah, I'm just going to get the teams to start picking. And as you said, you know, this could be a win for SPALE, 3-1. It could be a draw if Ulanska and Fantazja do take it here, which would mean that the two teams only get 1 point in this season. Obviously, if you lose, you get 0 points, and if you win, you get 3 points. So that's just the changes we had for this season coming into effect a little bit. But what's your prediction on this one? I mean, SPALE's always been pretty strong on Mines. And Ulanska Fantazja, I've never seen them on this map before.
It's a tricky one. I think it's going to be a draw again.
You think? I think SPALE would
actually,
not. I don't think SPALE would.
My worries is that SPALE is going to be SPALE again and just fail by doing a SPALE move. And then it would either end draw then, that they manage to catch the game like just before it ends, that they manage to catch themselves and draw the situation, or Ulanska is just going to completely destroy him. Yeah,
it could be like that, I guess.
But it's going to all start with a fail move. That's like, I don't know why. It's just one of these feelings, and way SPALE is just being SPALE.
Yeah, I mean, SPALE definitely not good at that. But what's good about their team?
They're good at SPALing.
The thing is that they actually they can come back into the game. Like hardly any teams can make a huge mistake and like work themselves back in.
I think that's why they tried so many times, because I guess they've done it many times already where they just spaled and their spale move didn't work out, but they still managed to end the game in their favor. That's why it's one of these special teams out there. But I think Ulanska is experienced enough that they're just going to destroy him. If Spale does any weird move, they're just going to say, right, thank you for helping us draw this game.
Yeah, but yeah, we can jump into tank picking. We got double T1 from Spale, T1 AMX 1390 for Ulanska Fantazja, AMX 1390 T69 from Spale, T1 AMX 1390 from Ulanska Fantazja, AMX 1390 T69 from Spale, double T69 from Ulanska. Last pick from Spale is the AMX 1390, and the last pick from Ulanska Fantazja is going to be a little bit of a strange one. The i3, which is actually what Mouse Sports ended up using. They did try it on the NVIDIA GeForce tournament in Impact Seattle. Used 3 of the games against Navi, which just didn't work at all. But now breaking that down to 1, and Mouse Sports actually use it as well. They still continue using the i3 on this map. It could work. I mean, it's got the alpha damage, which really helps if it does come down to a brawl, because if you're doing a 488 damage shot, MX39 only has 1.1k HP, you're doing pretty much like 40-50% of its health, which is just fantastic. But again, without the gun depression and it being kind of big and sluggish, it also has plenty of disadvantages.
I think it depends on what Ulanska is going to go for. If they want to go for a defensive position, then the IS-3 could be a good pick. But it's like, I think Mines is a special map again, because as we said in the first game, if you take a tank, what doesn't suit the tanks, the other tanks what you have in your lineup? In this case, we only have fast tanks, and you got this one heavy slow tank. But since Mines is a special map, I think the heavy tanks are more for reaching special positions on a close range. So it's not like more that you want to go from left to right, left to right, left to right, that you actually want to go around the hill, get up the hill really fast, and then stay more static up on the hill, or you want to go through a sneaky, like the back end up the hill by pushing yourself up. That's where you need these tanks for. But so it's not such a big deal if you have a heavy tank, what's the exact opposite from the 1390s and T69. And at the end of the day, I think depending on the gameplay or the game style, what they want to go for, it could be a good choice, or it could break them the next.
It's a hard pick. It's a bit of a gamble from these two. At least for Ulanska, just the IS3 could really work, as you said, or it could go disastrously. But we are going to jump into a quick map video explaining exactly how maps like Mines could be played.
Mines, the original and best World of Tanks 7-on-7 map, famed for its incredible tactical opportunities. A small map being 800 by 800 meters. The map has 3 primary routes of attack: the left flank through the water, the middle area, and the town side. The key position on this map is the middle area, as it provides great firing positions and areas of attack for the team that holds it. The middle area's primary entrance is the road passing through the middle of the map. It is essential that the teams take key areas around the hill, both of which are situated just below the hill, the north side and the south side. These locations can provide for some amusing tactics. The hill isn't the only means of attack on Mines though. There's also a housing area towards the east side that has a fair few routes of attack and provides great cover for advancing tanks. The water area can be an option for teams, however the soft ground makes it very hard for tanks to traverse rapidly, but leads straight to the opponent's base.
So, welcome back into our 5th and final match. Spale up 2-1 at this point, and they're going to push the hill pretty heavily. You can see Eurofish, BND all up on there, and Fantazja at T69 to provide the firepower from behind, and Mokilumi keeping a watchful eye over the water side. On the side of Ulanska Fantazja, gone heavily towards the kind of lighthouse island, getting a good shot onto Muppety, taking it down as T1 early on. But pretty much the rest of the team is vulnerable. The only one who's really capable of doing any damage is the IS-3. Sitting out behind those bushes. And it's just going to be a question if the IS-3 can connect the shells. BND getting spotted out, but also gets a spot onto the IS-3, so now Spale know exactly where that brawler is from the side of Ulanska Fantazja.
We see from Ulanska, they're going to try to push up the T1. Crazy Ketchup doing some crazy move here, trying to get him up behind that bush. He did slip down a bit, so it's not working that good anymore. Match is going to try it again. He wants to get him up on the sill so he can start proxy spotting BND all the time without needing any backup to do so, or not hoping that BND drives into the proxy range. Being up there, he just has it all the time.
Yeah, and you can see...
Not working that good yet.
I don't think it works full stop, to be honest.
It does work, but I think not with the...
not with the IS3.
No.
You need to be able to push it up further.
It's too heavy.
The horsepower per ton ratio is just not good enough. But you can see SPALE now also trying something new, pushing around the side in the village, trying to get some spots out from this bush right in front. Obviously, bush is providing about 40% camo. But he's not going to get that much information. He might spot out the T1, which is sitting here. And obviously the IS3 and the T1 are being blocked by this house and this house. So not much information, but now SPALE getting a good comeback with Belavi and the other and Atris being spotted on the island, the two MX-1390s. So in my opinion, SPALE have the advantage of knowing the most of Ulanska Fantazja tanks are spread around the map. And trying various things, and now that T69 Ikarum also being spotted, I think SPALE are just going to go for it.
Yeah, Match and Crazy Ketchup lost too much time trying to push up the T1 up the hill, and now Eurofish and BND coming from behind, focusing down Match. Agir from the front. Fantas took a lot of damage himself, but Match going down straight away. Nice focus fight from SPALE. Crazy Ketchup is standing there saying, well, where's my big buddy gun? I want to go up that hill. He's trying to back off now. Agir will finish him up. He's missing the shell, though. Crazy Ketchup doing some damage himself. And now all nice into favour from SPALE.
Yeah, now that tier 8 tank down, SPALE definitely have the advantage, and well, we'll have to see if Ulanska Fantazja can come back. But Mokilumi's only on 179 health. Fantas took a lot of damage as well, unnecessarily, in that T69 down to 458, trying to drive through the middle. But SPALE still have the positional advantage, don't really have to worry that much about HP. Sitting on the hill, Rabio PL takes a 238 shot from the MX-1390. So SPALE, information, definitely have that. Position, have that. HP, maybe not. But since the IS3's down, questionably have that. It just depends if you think having the extra tier 8 is worth it or having the HP advantage is worth it.
That's right. Now Ulanska is coming from the other side and might try to push up the hill from a stronger position. Eurofish did spot him. Fantas and BND are there. They can all they're landing some crossfire here, but that's watch out because I'm all low HP. But it's 4 against 3. Sorry, 5 against 3 now that Mokulumi has also joined the fight, and this could end bad for Ulanska.
Yeah, it's not going well for them, I don't think. And SPALE just going to be able to drop down, in my opinion, try and come up behind and finish them off. And Rabio Peel is still being a pest, though. Like, he's the one really keeping their team in the fight. Knowing that he's there, SPALE can't push down the middle. And he's going to be on reload, but still, SPALE obviously don't know that. They can't see these timers. So the only option they really have is to push these guys down here, and that's exactly what they're doing. Agia, BND, and Eurofish going forwards, all on pretty low HP, apart from Agia. BND's on about half HP. Fanta's going to come from behind. Obviously, Agia leading the charge since he has the HP, but not finding anything. Probably now.
It was a time look for Ulanska. They managed to just pull back as soon as the push from SPALE came, and that just actually saved them the lives. Because if that push would have landed or been there on time, they could have just dropped down the hill, as you said. The gun depression of the French tanks especially won't be good enough to shoot up towards the hill. And before they do get in a position to return the fire, the damage would have been done, and all into favour of SPALE.
Yeah, indeed. Now the MX-1390 pushing forwards, trying to get the proxy spots onto BND and Agaha. And Ulanska Fantazja just trying to find a different route into SPALE. But Argetti's going to keep the spots up. He's being a real trooper this time around, despite the fact that the T1 probably only has about 220 meters view range, so it's not going to be able to spot very much, especially considering that these MX-1390s, these T69s on the side of Ulanska Fantazja obviously have 100% camo crew, so that reduces the amount of view range by quite some amount. But he's still going to spot out Belavi, who's on 856 HP in his MX-1390.
Yeah. Straight away calling help, SOS there, so they know that he's spotted. There's got to be somebody around the hill who's spotting him, and now slowly, step by step, centimeter by centimeter. Oh no, screw the centimeter. He's been going right for it. Let's catch. They find Agia here. Agia 2 against 1, but they managed. Muklima's right behind him. It's low on HP. Eurofish there as well. Fantas as well. Take down the first one. Belavi is down to 1 shot. Final shot should come soon, and then it's Rabio PL, who will be the last tier 8. Oh, no, sorry.
Icarium
Icarium
as
just
well.
going from the other side, still on full HP.
Yeah, Icarium has been sitting on that hill the whole time, so he's been able to just sit there and do damage. But Rabio PL is going to have a fancier chance onto the low HP tanks of SPALE, and I think that's just a carrot on a stick for that team. So he's going to push straight up, but look at the side shells. These MX-3090s have so many shells in the autoloader, 6 in total, so if there's 2, there's 12. Fantazja just taking down Icarium, no problem at all, and he'll go and reload. And finally, Eurofish replying by killing Rabio PLL and leaving only Balavi in his MX-1390 left on 145 HP to try and deal
No, the T1
possibly
gets the kill.
4K damage.
The T1 will get the kill. No, BND has been a nasty
It's too
guy.
far away.
So this was awesome played by SPALE. They just, even though, despite the fact that they had so much, or they're taking so much damage, they just got the better position. They managed to go up the hill, show the one, who the one was where what's in again from the beginning. Damn,
Come on, man.
What's going on here? So.
Yeah.
Ulanska comes up the hill, looking in one direction. So the tank who's not in that direction pops up, does some damage, tank turns towards him. So the other tank from the other position comes up, does damage, and then it just looked like a sitting duck there in the middle, like, okay, what shall we do?
Yeah, and what's the thing about these T32s and the IS3s? When they get picked on maps like Mines, Prokhorovka, and Steps, they are actually really effective. But the thing is, the teams know that, and they know that before they can be effective, they have to take them out. And the thing is, they are sitting ducks when they're just, on their own, pretty much unsupported. So that's exactly what SPALE did. They knew they had a lot of HP and a lot of firepower at the beginning of the game. Take out the IS3 while they can before it's too late, and then
especially the way they've done it. It's just
exactly like coming from two sides is perfect.
So really, really nice execution from SPALE. They're taking down Ulanska, ending the game 3-1. I was close. It's closer than you.
Yeah, I guess. I thought it would be.
Oh, actually, it's draw because we both
pretty even.
Yeah, you guessed the 3 right. I guessed the 1 right. I guess
together we're correct.
All right, let's give us both
1 point. Yeah.
All right. Okay then.
We get a golden star each on our golden star board.
We got smileys. No, we had gold stars as well.
I had a golden star.
But we had smileys as well. We've done something really good. You got a smiley.
Yeah.
Did you actually have to go to we had the Mensa? Is it called Mensa in English as well?
No.
Where you eat, like the big hall where you eat.
We had a cafeteria.
Cafeteria is small in German, like the German is Mensa. So like the big hall where you eat in there. And every morning, every single person from the squad to be there.
It was your Mensa just the supermarket?
I'll carry on the story. Every morning you had to go there and you got like a footprint on your card. Okay. And if you had a full card, because so many people just didn't go to school because they're where I come from.
You can tell where you come from.
Yeah, like it wasn't that nice. So many kids didn't come to the school. So if you came to school, you got a stamp, you had a full card. You got, I think you got a free meal or something. I can't remember what it was.
Sounds really like good. Oliver Twist.
Really, really good.
Okay, fair enough.
I love the primary school. I miss English schools.
Yeah, that sounds
We even had a farm.
Oh, was it just a school?
Oh, man.
No, that's good. That's a good game. We're going to go back to the game. So 3-1 to SPALE, taking it quite well, and I think they deserve that victory. At the end of the day, they make a lot of mistakes, but they're definitely improving. They're continuing to get it better. So that's just a necessary win in their bag. So we'll be moving to our second match in
Maybe we can have a quick look at the rankings.
Yeah, you can pop onto the rankings if you want.
And after that, then we got Melly still, who wants to tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
So, I just want to see how this is going to affect the rankings. So we see we see SPALE.
Melly at the top of the rankings.
So this is such a crazy day.
Face.
This is such a crazy day. I think it's not a good idea if I step in too many times to Lawrence. So last time she's allowed to jump out of cast. SPALE taking 13 points, putting him on the 3rd position so far. So depending on the game between Denova and Virtus Pro, they could be the top.
That's not just important because of that. It's also important because Denova is so close to Team Dignitas as well.
And then actually, I have to be honest. I don't know who Dignitas is facing today. Do you have it in mind?
And they're not facing anyone, I don't think.
Oh,
because
is it the match cancelled?
Because Stalker is actually the Russian finals in Moscow, but so is Virtus Pro. But Kusok is there, not the team leader, who's still playing. So I guess they're still going to continue.
Well, it's perfect because I think today would have been against 7 Sins.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, it's been no problem.
No, actually, it would be against Plain Ducks.
Plain Ducks, okay.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 games today either way.
Yeah, but that's also another nice matchup because you see Plain Ducks is right behind as well, breathing down the necks of the other team. So if Denova will take that, they'll be on top. And then we have a really close ranking in the top 5. I mean, if you maybe take into the the top 8 as well, only with 9 points, so 1 point behind the top 5. At this point, it's really, really close. So every point matters, every point counts, and that's what the team's going for. But before we check out the second game between Dinova and Virtus Pro, we've still got our lovely Melly on the other side who is throwing chocolate around because she's in such a good mood today. She's not just throwing chocolate around, she's also throwing codes around. And let's see who could be lucky with some codes.
That was good, man. That was good. I'll give you that one.
I know. I have my moments.
I actually wanted to pick up on your stories, but after such a nice introduction, I just can't.
No, please do, as long as it's only about Steven.
No, it's okay, it's okay. It's fine. It's always nice when you people tell from your lives.
I know.
And from...
Story time.
Exactly, from that story, from all your... What about some school stories?
That's
later.
what I started off with.
Yeah,
next time. Not mine. I have a boring life.
That was
Nothing
really good.
interesting happens to me.
Like in England as well, talking about school stories, I have to give credit to myself. You got like books, and you got different colours. So in the first class, the book colours were blue.
Yeah.
And if you go up the classes, you got different colours. So the second class green, and so on. And like the sixth class, because the primary school goes to the sixth class in England.
Sure.
So you got the brown books.
Yeah.
And I was like in the third class, and I was really reading the brown books.
Wow. Good for you, man. Jeez.
I just want to put that one out there, because I'm so proud of myself. Well, let's bring the camera back to Melly.
What an insightful story.
Yeah, you
cool story, bro.
You asked for school stories, so I thought, all right then.
I thought about something interesting.
Interesting.
No, stop it. Well, let's continue with our regular schedule. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm allowed to. Thank you. So, the vote.
Ow.
The vote. Sorry.
Ow.
Sometimes my voice still jumps from low to high. I'm so sorry. I can't handle it.
As long as you can handle the bonus codes and make our people happy.
That's something I can do. Well, the vote actually was during the whole match pretty clear for SPALE, of course, with 81 to 85%, I guess, in the end. But, well, so the community clearly was right about the ending of the match and also about the exact score. So we have pretty much people guessing the exact outcome right. So I think maybe I will raise the amount of bonus codes I will hand out this time.
So
I'm nice.
No, let's wait until the end if we hit the 5K.
Yeah, that's extra.
Oh, okay. On top as well. So, Melly's actually a really good day.
Exactly. I'm the queen of bonus codes, so I can do whatever I like. And when I want to hand out more, I just do.
Go for it, girl.
Just putting Steven in his place as well.
Yeah, I already noticed, like... Man.
No, well, thank you very much first for taking part in this vote. It's always nice to see the predictions of our community. And of course, we have some questions, because by sending in questions or feedback or your opinion or whatever you like via Twitter by the use of hashtag WoT Pro League, you may have the chance of getting rewarded as one of the 3 tweets of the day. And yeah, I picked some questions for you two guys. If you're ready, then I can just... Steven is looking slightly scared.
I'll remember.
You better be.
Okay. I remember the questions about the rat tank and that,
Oh no, yeah, that was my first show. Shut up. The Landkreuzer.
Yeah, there was like an April Fool, and this one.
And I was sitting here all serious, and yeah, we're like, why don't we see that very tank in professional matches? And Steven was like...
That was really good. I was like, because I was laughing my head off, and then she said, I looked it up as well. I looked on Google.
I found screenshots and everything. It was so well done. It got me really on the wrong foot. And Steven was like, well, the first reason could be because it's not real. And I'm like, thank you for trolling me, people at home. Thank you very much.
Keep it up.
No. Be nice to me. I have the codes. Careful. So, first question. What can we expect from Japanese tree? Which features will be distinguished those tanks from other trees?
I'm looking at you, mate. Don't look at me.
I have no idea, to be honest.
It's hard to say, because you didn't have the chance of playing so far. And also, like, stats and whatever can always change until they're actually introduced, because of the balancing. They experiment quite a lot, so it's going to be really hard.
And the thing is about the Japanese tree, this is a game about World War II, and the Japanese tree is going to have to be towards that. So it has to be in the Pacific region. The Pacific region was just fighting along a lot of islands, so the tanks have to be very light.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they're going to be very light, very fast, but they still have to pack a punch. So I'm guessing going to be light, fast, but 90mm guns all round, and obviously 90mm can be deadly in the right hands. Maybe go up to 100mm if we're lucky. That's my prediction.
I think it's going to go towards the new American line. So from light over to middle, and then one heavy tank at the end. So because as you said, it's a Pacific area. Not many heavy tanks were used.
There's no way you can have a heavy tank. You can't carry a heavy tank.
I guess they're going to have a few in their arsenal, but
maybe if it comes up to 1955 when they were looking towards the Korean War and stuff.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, you want to take tanks where World Tanks is known to take many tanks what are prototypes, but on the other side, you also want to take tanks what are well known, like through history. So I think their main focus is going to be on a tech line that's going to be mixed. But we already have the tech line, and it's again really bad prepared for such a question because we should actually know that. But I'm looking for the
it's not
line.
there, man.
It's okay.
It is.
You're
It's on the
only
page.
human.
It's fine.
I
Next
got it.
Totally
question.
fine.
No,
Next
we got it.
Okay, he got it.
Okay, so light tanks and medium tanks. We were
Light
right,
tanks,
bro.
medium tanks, yeah, yes.
Yes, man.
Well, it's just logic, man. We're good with that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's going to be. Probably. So again, I'm going to stick to it. It's going to be similar to the American line, just that the final tank is not going to be heavy tank, but another medium tank.
Next question.
Okay,
Oh
perfect.
man, we're rocking this, bro. Wow, there's synergy going on between us. I love it.
It's just beautiful to listen to.
It is.
Sarcasm. Lowest form of wit, isn't it?
Carry on,
Carry on.
Do the tier 1 tanks have advantage? God, forgot.
This is
For
This
fuck's
is funny.
Wait. Do the tier 1 tanks have advantages in this type of game
Oh, a T1 question.
compared to
that's
public
kinda new.
games, I guess?
Someone's just rephrased the T1 question there quite sneakily.
Actually, yeah. So this is a perfect question because only just today, Wargaming announced the esports mode that's going to be implemented in-game as a kind of a company thing. And looking through the forum, many questions already asked, what's the point of reducing the tier points and the tier limits? Because that means you can't take tier 8 tanks only.
Yeah.
So perfect timing. And the reason is actually pretty simple because the T1, if you play in a team, the T1 can be really strong. And I think even in a 15 versus 15, if you would have proper team fights, like a proper team, you could even take one tier 10 tank and put in a tier 1 tank. And this tier 1 tank, if you use them right, could also make a difference, in my opinion. Some might disagree on that, but I think at the end of the day, it comes down to how you use a tier 1 tank, and it can be really, really strong tank. We saw Magos in the first season. He managed to sneak around while the fights was going on the left-hand side. He managed to sneak around on the right-hand side of the map and cap the base while the heavy tanks were drawing all the attention towards them. Won them the game. Won them the qualification for DreamHack. The other side, if you commit to the right-hand side of the map, you need eyes on the left-hand side. You don't want to keep a tier 8 tank there because you need him for the team fight. So what you do, stick a T1 there. So the T1 main role is to be sneaky, be annoying, and be a scout.
Yeah.
A static scout.
Exactly. And also for that penetration to the caps. Gotta remember that one as well. Yeah, so that's the T1.
Okay, and why nobody uses German tanks in this battle?
Well,
I'll leave that one to you because you like offending nations. So
That's a perfect question
go
for
for
Ollie.
it, mate.
well, they were actually used at the beginning. We had like the Tiger 2 and
Yeah.
stuff, just because it had a great gun. But the thing is about the German tree, it's just too slow. Like, okay, let's look at the two tanks you could use. You have the Tiger 2, which is tier 8, too slow. That's the first problem, and it's just really big. Generally, it's hitting a barn door.
Yeah.
Even like, I don't know, Fantazja could hit that, or BND, whoever missed that shot on steps. BND could hit that, yeah. But you do actually see the VK45 Ausfei. We saw that last time, but from Mouse Sports against...
Well, I don't like it still.
I mean...
I think it has no advantage over tanks because if you look in the esports mode, every tank has something special. Like you got the IS-3 high alpha, you got the 1390s with the clips and really fast, you got the T69s with the clips and even faster reload.
Yeah.
So every tank has some kind of special ability. While if you look at the German tanks, it's just a massive metal thing, a lot of armor and decent firepower. But at the end of the day, the armor means nothing when it comes down with the gold shell. So it has nothing special. It has nothing what puts it above any other tank in the tank.
I mean, the only thing the VK has really is the rate of fire, which is decent, and 320 average damage.
But if you want to go for rate of fire, you go for a French or...
I mean, you can just take a
American tank,
5100 or, take a T32 and you have the hull down as well.
Yeah, so That's, in my opinion, the biggest problem is that the German tanks have nothing special.
They're not good at specifically. I mean, esports is always about being good at something.
Yeah.
Specifically the tanks, or just being awesome at everything. And the German tanks are decent at everything and not good at one specific thing.
Yeah.
So that's why the teams don't really take.
And that's I completely agree on that. That's
Unless you're the Lick Tractor in Odin Mortis.
What tractor?
Yeah,
Lick
what's it
Tractor.
called?
No, say it again. You can't do it.
Lick Tractor.
There
I'm
you
so
go.
proud of you.
You're teaching him.
2 months later, got it right finally.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I get
you
a
need
bonus
your
code.
time. We
No.
know that.
Bonus code's only for our community. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh, to give you a hook, mate. You okay?
Carry
Right.
on.
Any more
You've
questions?
upset me too much.
Yes. Well, no more questions so far, so keep on sending them. But actually, a very nice tweet which I like to read out loud, because Terry wrote, keep up this amazing job. Always fun to watch and funny commentators talking about battles. That's what I love to hear.
That's
Yes.
really heartwarming.
Thank you
It
very
is.
much.
That
And that's
motivates.
one in the 30 comments that are just like, we hate these guys, they're rubbish.
Well, no. The thing is, you never get these comments when Lauren's on camera. I'm once here, then boom, we get nice comments. Oh man, this I see a trend going on here.
I will never read out such a tweet again when
Yeah,
Simon
don't
is
inflate
here.
his ego, Melly.
No, it's really motivating. Though. I really appreciate the support from the fans. They're the only ones that actually make it possible that
Yeah.
we can sit here and show these awesome games.
Yeah.
But talking about awesome games, we got one more coming up. But before we head over to that match, we will go for a short break.
Yeah.
And around
5 minutes.
No, I think 10 minutes it is.
Okay.
We will be right back with Dinova against WoT Pro.